Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Tag Me. My name is Ben, and today we're going to focus a bit on Weyland. I know in the last few videos we've done a lot of focusing on Ari and Corp or runner side, but I wanted to switch it back, get back to the Corp side, and stick with these startup games and see if we can make any adjustments to this Corp deck. I've really been liking it, but maybe there's some changes that we can be made. I did just make something, and let's just dive right in here. So this is the deck that I was playing. I think we did get in a game last week as well, which was super fun. So let's see if we can make any more changes or if there's anything else we want to do. I mentioned before that we had Regolith mining license in here instead of government subsidy. I think the Regolith was just a little bit too slow. It takes a lot of extra clicks, and in this deck we're kind of advancing a lot anyway, so that's pretty slow. And it takes too much time in order for us to really get the same amount of money that we get from government subsidy. And with the Charlotte, the downside of playing government subsidy, of course, is that it's really expensive to fire at 10. But with the Charlotte, it's pretty easy for us to keep getting money and stay on top of that 10 credit threshold. So pretty excited to keep that one going. I also added in the Chrysium Grid, which is just kind of a good tech card. Just good to have in there. So yeah, I think we're going to end up diving into this, but thank you very much for joining me again, and I hope everyone had a good weekend, by the way. I know it's a Monday, some people have it off, so hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it, and thanks for sticking by and dropping in. But let's go get into Jinteki here. There we go. As always, it just gets a little bit weird. Let's just make sure that we have this updated. Great. How's everyone doing? Everyone had a good weekend? Startup, that's what we're looking for. It's like, what are we doing here? How do we play this game? Sweet. And while we get that going here. So the main point of this deck is we want to keep using our ID ability, which whenever we advance a card, we gain 2 credits if it has no advancement counters. So advancing a card the first time is tempo positive for us, and we really want to take advantage of that as much as we can. Even when we score agendas, I know we have seamless launch, which helps us, get agendas out much quicker and cheaper. But even when we're playing this, we still want to advance the card manually first, get the credit back. It actually makes the seamless launch free, which is something that we always want to keep in mind as well. The more that we can use our ID ability, I really think the better off that we're going to be. I don't want to be advancing our ice. So, we have the 8 agendas, which of course can be advanced, and the Charlotte, which we've also talked about, that can be advanced. But a lot of our ice can as well. And this is one of the ice I'm not sure about. So we have the Ice Wall, Logjam, Tree Line, and Whoredom, which can all be advanced. So these work with our ID ability. They're all pretty strong ice and get, like, the Tree Line gets stronger, the Ice Wall gets bigger with the advancement. So the advancement counters do come into effect. I'm just afraid with this Ice Wall, I put it in more as a gear check. And if you're not familiar with gear check, it just is checking if the runner has a breaker down. Because if the runner has a fractor, which is a barrier breaker, as long as they have that down, this Ice Wall isn't going to stop them. Even if I have a couple of advancement counters on it, it's, inconsequential for like a cleaver or even like a corroder or, any of those, the shaper breakers. Like, it's really easy for an Ice Wall to get broken. So this is mostly just to check to see if they have a breaker. I guess if we're against an Asa with a Begamot or something like that, we can try and outrace the core damage. But I don't know if that's necessarily worth it when we have something like Tree Line that starts at a much higher strength, where we can do the same thing anyway, because it still also gets +1 strength for each advancement counter. But yeah, I think we could probably, I'm considering coming down on these ice walls, more tithes or some other sentry, just because this gap, like the 1 cost tithe res for tithe and the 6 cost hammer, is pretty big difference. I mean, a lot of these ice, the rest of our ice do fill in that gap and round out our cost curve quite a bit. But I don't know. I feel like we don't have much of a threat here with just the tithe and the hammer. So maybe we can find something there. And I don't really want to just put in like a ballista or something. Just another 5 strength sentry I don't think helps, just because a lot of the ice in this deck is already a bit expensive. So I think it's better to lean on side of the tithe than something like a ballista. While we're seeing if we can get an opponent in startup here, the CBI event did happen this weekend. Let's see if we can find the results. Oops, that's not how you spell that. So let's see what's results. So if you're not familiar with this website, this is called Always Be Running. This is a really good resource to find any tournaments or local events that are happening. You know, we can go to upcoming here first, and sometimes it's a meetup in different parts of the country or different countries. Oh, let's go. We'll get back to that, but more in a minute. All right, so Tau. So they're going to swap our ice, which is probably going to be a bit annoying. We want to be able to go. Of course, we have the government subsidy, and just these ice walls. I think we're going to mulligan this. We might have gotten something with... Oh, we still have the spin doctors, so this is fine. Okay, I feel a bit better about these, even with Tau out there messing with us. But let's first see if we can bait a run and get them to check that. And Tau Shaper. I'm assuming we are going to be a bit more worried about R&D. Now we're leaving HQ open with the 1 agenda. Oh, of course, with the Hermes. I don't think we draw here. I think we just... Well, that didn't work out for us. We could have used the Spin Doctor to draw, and now we're going to end up doing it anyway. I was just afraid of hitting more agendas, but I suppose that line didn't exactly work out for us. No, I feel like that got us last time, where we didn't install or res a Spin Doctor with agenda in our hand. So I think next time we just do that every time. But let's just get everything iced up here. They have a bit of pressure that they're getting out here, and I don't particularly want to advance any of these because they can bounce it, but it gets us the credit. So I think we're just going to advance it, threaten to make the logjam a bit bigger. The descent we can res anyway. Logjam is the only ice that we need to protect, that we need to res right now, just to stop them from getting free R&D accesses. We saw Hermes last week as well. This can really set the board state back, especially with a deck like what we're playing, where we are using advanceable ice. Because if they bounce it, as long as it's de-resed, Hermes can still return it to hand. And once it comes back to hand, those advancement counters that are on it are all going to disappear. So it's a big problem that we need to stay on top of. But we're still seeing an agenda we don't really want to score. So I'm not... Alright, so we're going to protect up server 2. And we're going to advance this. We're going to advance this ice wall. And again, this is just a different way for us to gain credits. That's really all I'm trying to do here. If I already have an advancement, I'm not going to look to advance this ice wall again. it's mostly just a mechanism for me to gain credits and kind of keep pushing my board state forward a little bit while I do so. But they're seeing that we're taking this slow and are going to smartware and slowly start to drip those credits in. Isaac can help speed up our agenda, or excuse me, our advancement requirements, but we really need to see agendas here. Because right now it's just ice. But let's get everything iced up. We'll throw Isaac on server 2 for now. And we'll advance this as well, just to keep giving us a credit. Again, just to keep getting us credit, keep that moving forward. I would like to res Isaac here, but we only have 7 credits. And it's going to become a bit of a problem if we can't res a bunch of stuff because we resed our Isaac. Again, not seeing those agendas, so that's not ideal. Let's draw again. Charlotte's really good. I don't feel great here about spinning just to get the single spin doctor back, but I don't want to just have one more spin doctor in the deck. So I think we're doing it, and we're going to install advance the Charlotte. We will not res the Isaac because we don't want to commit the resources. I would like to bounce it. Ideally, we don't want to res Isaac early unless we're going to bounce it and use that ability, that first part of the text. And since we're not doing that here, so just gaining some money. Okay, so we'll res our Charlotte, get some forward tempo, get some money. This is really what we wanted to happen because this is going to just start pushing us forward. And we're going to advance Charlotte again. And again, every time we advance Charlotte, we keep triggering our ability. And because Charlotte removes the advancement counter from her every time, it's another really great way to keep us gaining credits and keep that momentum forward. But let's throw this over R&D to protect our little barrier. And we will throw the Whoredom over server 2. And this has no advancement counters. The Isaac, again, doesn't really benefit us to move it so much. So we'll just leave that there. And again, keep our credits to our chest for now. But they're building quick. Okay, so this Tau is just moving. They have a really good spot. Dockland's Pass is going to give them 2 accesses, so we need to start getting things out. But we are just not finding agendas. Seamless launches are good. I think we just got to score this slash and burn. Well, they don't have any money. And we can do it with a seamless when we're burning a seamless, but where do we just draw? Do we draw? We draw. That's worth it. That's fine. In a perfect world, we would have wanted to trash... I don't think we need that this time. In a perfect world, we would have advanced the Charlotte and then popped her to gain money. It would have fueled us, pushed us forward. But we didn't have the clicks. We needed to get this agenda out. And no spin doctor. So we'll do what we said. We'll advance the Atlas. We are going to... Yeah, because they can get in here and we don't have any way to stop it. So we're going to hold on to the slash and burn for later. We'll seamlessly Atlas and advance and score. And this is when they get all their triggers. They're going to ruin our board state. What did they swap? R&D and HQ. Okay, so now we have a descent in front of HQ, and they bounced one of our log jams. We have all 3 of our log jams. I think this Isaac is the least important. We do want to get these back out. Oof. So hitting burner. Yeah, so they're going to go back and try and hit that, find the slash and burn and keep Was that the first time? Oh, the first time. Okay, worked for us. So they know we have this. They know that our tree line. They knew all this. Now they cooked us. But let's get some protection up. So get this in front of HQ. If they want to try and get this slash and burn, it's going to cost them some money. We have 2 different card types there, which is good. So now we're in advance, same thing, just to help us gain a credit. And we are going to advance this. And let's res the Isaac and turn. And now we're going to res him because we want to move him to HQ. Get the advancement counter. We get with Isaac. Isaac moves, gets the advancement counter. As much synergy as we can pull out of this deck, it's going to help. And cataloger. So they're threatening R&D here as well with the cataloger. 8 credits. Let's draw. Atlas is really good. Atlas is really good. Do we install advance and force them to do something? And then move the Isaac? Yeah, I think we install this in server 2. We advance. We end. Let's move the Isaac. And they know we had an agenda. So I feel like it's a good chance that they run server 2 here. If they think they have the money, but that's a huge swing. Oh, they're not doing it. Not doing it. Okay. And a Basalt Spire. So with the Atlas counter, we can score the Basalt Spire pretty easily with only the 1 in the slash and burn. I think we advance. Oh, we have a Descent in our hand. Oh. This is excellent. Good news. Good news all around. So we're going to slash and burn the Atlas. We are going to score the Atlas. No, we're going to advance again. Now we're going to score it. And this gives us a click to redo whatever they've ruined. So cataloger. Okay. And I think we're still just going to Descent. I think we're still just going to Descent. To expend this. To shuffle in the slash and burn. And we're going to keep the Basalt Spire. Because we want that. We really would like the Isaac, or the Basalt Spire. We're not going to move the Isaac. Woof. This is going to hurt. Lots of multi-access going on here. Let's just res the hammer. Force them to spend some amount of money. Because even with the Echelon, it's not cheap. It's really, really not cheap for them to break with the Echelon. The strength of hammer's at a good point, so they still have to spend the 3 credits. Oh, I have to click the button. They still have to spend 3 credits to get up to strength, and then 3 more credits for the subroutines. Maybe we should have got the spin. Actually, with the Spin Doctor in our hand, yeah, I think that was a goof too. We should have installed the Spin Doctor last click instead of the Descent. I mean, in theory, we could have actually used our Atlas token here, but... So they know what this is. Let's just use this to shuffle our deck. Let's get some thing here. What do we have? What's our options? I would love to score the Basalt Spire, but I don't think we can score it in 1 turn off the rip. So let's just get a seamless launch. Okay. Cool. So we got some money. This gives us a ton of options. We definitely want to get something in front of R&D again, because Tau was able to do Tau things and hurt us. So let me... What do we want to do here? We don't have a ton of money if we want to protect this. The tree line is probably going to be enough in R&D. And then let's just throw the Basalt Spire in Server 2. I don't want to move Isaac because I want to power these up. Their economy is still a bit low, so I don't think they're going to be able to push everything. The tree line is still going to cost them a bit of money, so let's just let them hit the tree line. Because we don't need a ton of money to score out the Basalt Spire. Cool. So see 3 cards. Seeing one more card here. Woof! I'm worried. If they hit our Basalt Spire, we're a little bit upset. Right? Because if they bounce our Basalt Spire, we can't score it, which is definitely a problem. Yep, that's going to come back. There's no way they leave that in the server. So they don't have money anymore, which helps. I almost think we install the Ice Wall, advance the Ice Wall, and install the Basalt Spire again. Because the Ice Wall at 2 strength is going to make it so they can't just walk through it with Pressure Spike every time. Although the Descent is not ideal. The Descent is not ideal. Because that's just 1 more credit. But I mean, when they don't have money, I think it's still okay. So I think we install, we advance, and we install in Server 2. We don't want to move Isaac. Do we want to move Isaac? With the Conduit there? I mean, it's a win either way. They see 2 cards off R&D. Tree Wall, Ice Wall, Whoredom. That costs 1, 2 to break. That costs 2 or 3. Pressure Spike here and here doesn't matter? Yeah. No, we just won't. We just won't. We can theoretically res the Descent too. They're just going to give it to us. Okay, cool. Great, great, great. So we're going to do what we said. We will advance to get some money. We will Seamless. We will Atlas the Slash and Burn. And we will Slash and Burn to score. GG. I was really, really worried. So we did a good job. I'll come back to our stats here in a minute. But we did a really good job making sure we didn't get totally blown out. We were complaining a bit about our ice at the beginning of the game. But I think against Tau like this, having options and always being able to replace or threaten different or new ice is a really, really strong thing. Even when they have this breaker suite, just having options like being able to throw the tree line there, having a hammer there, making them not get cheap R&D accesses when they have the conduit out really helped us not get blown out for a turn. Because if they were able to just keep running R&D for like 1 or 2 credits every single turn, we would have lost last turn, I'm positive, because they only had 12 credits. And with Conduit, the more that they hit, the more that they run and keep having the ability to run back, the higher success they're going to have at finding that last agenda. And it kind of became a race at the end, is they weren't even going to try to threaten the remote as long as Isaac was there and each of these servers were advanced, because Isaac just existing there is giving all of these servers +6 strength, you know, cumulative +6 strength. And even with Unity and a pressure spike, it's not going to be enough. Like, that's just prohibitively expensive to get through. And even though these weren't the most expensive ice at the start, it's not like these were a bunch of log jams. It's possible that our opponent thought this Hortum was a log jam because they saw it early in the game and then ran into it again. Or saw us install and advance a piece of ice. And since log jam could also be rezzed and advanced, that's a reasonable thought. But even with pressure spike, log jam isn't necessarily the best. The numbers aren't the best for log jam, right? If it's a 4-strength log jam, then pressure spike is going to be up to 4, 5, 6, 7 to break, which is not a reasonable number. You'll get through it for 5 once, but 5 and then 7, if 2 of those pieces of ice happen to be a log jam, that's just not reasonable. It's really not reasonable for the runner to keep running through. So really good. That felt nice. We didn't see the government subsidy. We didn't really have money either, but we just kind of kept it rolling, utilizing our ability as much as we could to threaten some of these ice and keep our opponent honest with Isaac. Constantly just upping the strength of our ice is really good. How did our stats look? How did our opponent's stats look, by the way? See, we did not have to click for a credit, which is really good. We used our ability sometimes, but which is kind of, like I said, it was clicking for a credit. But that pushes our game forward more than just clicking for a credit. So still a net positive, I think. All right, let's get out of here. Let's see if we can find another game. Oops. And I think we're going to try that Weyland deck again. That seemed to work pretty good. I think that might not be necessarily the best for us, but it worked. The ice against, as I said, playing into the Tau really, really helped get that moving. Anyone a coffee person? Man. Made this stuff from Luminous. Super good. Oh, this is standard. Oh no. Wait, we have made the wrong game. Trying again. Corp. Start up. There we go. Now let's try it. Now let's give it a go. And what did we also have here? The Descent's really good. This is my first time playing a Descent. I always thought it's a weird card, but when we are using the slash and burn, so the thing that's weird is it's an ice that has this expendable subtype. So we discard it or we trash our ice to get some other effect, and I don't think we don't want this. And we are going to read and make sure that we don't accidentally keep again a hand that we don't want. So this is fine. Lou is going to trash our stuff, so we probably want to protect ourselves and be a little bit more conservative than we normally are, because we don't want our slash and burn to go. We could spin and draw through it, but I kind of think just getting a baseline level of defense up against this matchup in particular is going to be good. So we're going to play this a little bit slower, at least with this start. Next turn, I'm kind of thinking we're going to push the log jam, or push the spin doctor behind the log jam in a remote, and hold on to this business as usual. I suspect we're going to be playing against a number of viruses, given this is an Anarch deck. So some Leech, almost certainly. We might see a Fermenter. Those are the two biggest ones. But even something like, I don't know, we could purge a weird one, purge a Physarum or something, and just get that off our ice. I think a Physarum might be a bit off meta for this particular deck. But this, I think, is going to be a really good card in a matchup like this. Yeah, and it's a cookbook. So getting an Audrey as well could be key. You know, Audrey's great, but if you don't have any virus counters on Audrey, they can't really break with it. And if this deck has a cookbook, you know they really want the virus counters. Those virus counters are going to matter. Charlotte. Ooh, that's way better than Spin Doctor. Charlotte's way, way better than Spin Doctor. We're going to push her instead. So we're going to go Logjam. We're going to go get Charlotte. We'll advance Charlotte as well. And now, again, like I'm saying, because we're advancing these things, even though we've spent 2 clicks to advance, we still have the 7 credits. So we can still res this Logjam, which isn't going to get a ton of advancement counters, which isn't ideal, I will be the first to admit. But getting a Logjam up early, I think, is going to be pretty good. We can always advance this the slow way, and an Isaac would make it bigger anyway, so we have a few options. And yeah, getting that Audrey. So they want to trash the cards, because Audrey's interesting. It needs virus counters to break, but it only gets virus counters when the runner trashes. And they have a click left. They could get through the tree line. I don't think we res it. I think we want to threaten the Logjam more if they decide to run this. And I'm not worried about like a single access for one card. That's really not going to throw me off. So we need the money more, and this is going to go a long way to us getting it. So we res Charlotte. She gives us 4 credits and another card. This Tithe is going to be really nice. Actually, I just want to throw this. I'm going to throw this over Archives to dissuade the free leech runs. And this also puts us in a bit of a position that we could consider purging at some point, but I don't know if we... It just gives us an option to purge. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm in the zone a little bit. So let's move this over to Charlotte. Let's give our Logjam a free advancement counter, since it's not going to get one from Archives by itself. But just try and keep this momentum going forward a little bit. And with the Slash and Burn and Spin Doctor in our hand, we have some really good options. So this the Spin Doctor can shuffle the Slash and Burn back too. So if we get an agenda, we are going to be in luck. And hopefully we can keep drawing through some cards and getting our board state in a good way. Because I think we're the type of deck that might be hard for this deck to churn through. Granted, they do have Awasera's Crew, which is going to trash our ice. I'm almost positive that we're going to see that. Probably 3 copies of that, because that's just a good card in the meta right now. But at least we have enough ice to keep throwing it at them. So here I'm actually considering rezzing this. I think we... Oh no, because if we res that, we can't stop the running over there. So we're going to give them the free access. We're still not quite at the point where we can res everything. And like really let our money roll. But the longer we can keep this Charlotte server going, the better off we're going to be. Because with the leech counters, it's just going to cost them their single Audrey counter to get through the tree line. Even if I move the Isaac over. Okay. So Chrysium. Oh, you know what? Chrysium Grid is pretty fun with the leeches. Or we can stick the Chrysium Grid over Archives. Both of these are fun. These are all fun options. Hedge fund's good. Get some money. I think I think we're going to push the Spin Doctor and draw cards just because we need to start seeing some options here. And we can allow this to be trashed. Okay, so we'll hold on to the hedge fund. And we will install the Whoredom over R&D. And we will install the Chrysium in Archives. And I think we're just going to set up for a purge. For a full purge. Oh, shit. We didn't want to do that. Crap. We actually wanted Charlotte to keep cooking. So I think the last click was a mistake. But that's fine. That's okay. We have some options. That is going to cost us. What did we do? We installed the Chrysium? We're setting up for a purge. I don't know if that's necessarily. I think that keeping the Charlotte cooking would have been important. Maybe not setting up for the purge this turn, but for next turn. And they're probably trying to figure out what we just installed in Archives. Because Mavirus is not legal in Startup. So normally that would be a pretty safe card to put in Archives. But, yeah, Crew. Okay. That's what we suspected. I don't think we res the Ice Wall then. So we might hold off. You know what? No, let's make them res it. Let's see if we can get them to burn a crew. Because I'm okay with that. If they want to burn a crew for an Ice Wall, I'm super okay with that. No, just spending the Audrey counter, which I'm fine with the Audrey too. Because they can't trash any of the things that we have in Archives. So, or excuse me, they can't trash any of the things that we have in HQ. Oh no, they are crewing it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Them getting the slash and burn wouldn't be ideal here, but it's far from the end of the world if they do. Nope, so they know about that. They know about her business. Mandatory draw. Spin Doctor again, huh? Not ideal. That's not ideal. I think we still do it. New remote. Res. Man, no Ice Love, huh? All right, let's advance our Charlotte to get some more cards. And I guess we GovSub? Hedge fund? They know we have the hedge fund. Let's just hedge fund. Isaac can Isaac stay? I mean, that's going to get 2 more counters. Nah. Let's move Isaac to R&D. I'll give the Whoredom the advancement counter. Whoredom could be really good. We actually should get 2 more advancement counters on Whoredom, because this is going to stop... This Whoredom by itself will completely hold the line against Audrey, because Audrey is a AI program. And Whoredom, if it has 3 or more advancement counters, can no longer be broken by AI. Which in a deck like against this Lou deck is really strong, because they don't have many other ways to get through Whoredom, I suspect, besides crewing it. And I'm sure they play 2 more crew, but if we can force them to use a crew on a Whoredom as opposed to something else, I think that's still a good move for us. Did they trash the Isaac? They did not trash the Isaac. All right, cool. So we will use that. Logjam, that's good. This is good. Another Logjam is nice. I feel like we're gonna see them have another crew, and that is gonna make our logjam disappear. We could also just score the above the law and snipe the cookbook. Ooh, that's a better idea. That's a far better idea. New remote. Advance. And we're going to expend the slash and burn. Score the above the law. And when we score the above the law, we can trash a piece of, or a resource, excuse me. I will not move Isaac. Cool, great. That was good for us. We could have done a bit more tempo here and installed the logjam and prepare in front of HQ to prepare for a purge, but we still can install the logjam in front of HQ in purge, and if they decide to run, it's going to cost them. Oh, we can still spin doctor the thing away anyway. Okay. So we'll res a logjam. Yeah, this is exactly why we didn't. This is perfect for us because the slash and burn counts for a new card type for the logjam. I mean, I don't think they have it because they don't. This has 3 and the run subroutines, and Audrey only breaks 2. So I don't think... Okay, give them the option, I guess. I think they realized halfway through that they don't have the Audrey counters, so just give them the option. I'll give them a second to see if that's what they want to do. But we can have a think. We have money, which is... Okay. Cool. So we have money. We want to ice up. I think the tree line in front of HQ is fine. Let's just put the logjam in front of HQ on second thought. Logjam in front of HQ. We'll advance to Charlotte. Again, just keep our card draw and our things moving. And I do want to draw again. I think we're going to draw again and do this all out of whack. Do we? Nah, let's just advance this. Advance our logjam, click for a credit, basically. We'll leave Isaac there. Nope. Leave Isaac over R&D. We could have probably res the Whoredom or advance the Whoredom because that's better for us in terms of game state. Oh no, this is even better. So hopefully we can get, this is good. This is even better. Let's let them burn a crew on something that isn't Whoredom. So then when we res Whoredom, they only have one more card to use to blow it up. Use their limited resources. They're blowing this thing up, huh? Doing it the hard way. Continue movement, and I will trash her. And this is why Charlotte's really good, right? So they spent a crew. They spent all of their leech counters, and we still just trashed her in the middle of the run and got money off of her. So there's no downside in having her out. Just none. She's incredible. Incredible card. And here, with the single Audrey counter, I don't know if it's worth purging anymore. Ice Wall, Isaac. We don't really have anything to push. Our cards aren't. You know what? You know what? I think we go. I think we ball. Do we ball? We draw. Okay. Let's advance the Whoredom, and let's install a Whoredom over the Spin Doctor. And end turn. I will discard this Ice Wall, and we're going to move Isaac to server 3 to get the Whoredom advancement. For the same reason, this is, if we can protect R&D and we can protect this remote, there's no way we just have the game on lock, I think. And they only have one more crew in the deck. Maybe they have some more with like privileged access, and they're going to be able to get some back and recur it slightly. But we can put anything else on archives and lock it down, so it's not as simple as a tithe, because technically they could get through it. But actually, you know what? I take everything I said back, because we have a Chrysium Grid. We thought about this in the beginning of the game. We threw a Chrysium Grid down, and that's protecting the privileged access. As long as they don't check archives, we're okay. And they're just gaining money. We are Charlotte. We are Charlotte. So let's advance the Whoredom. And I think we use Spin. We'll get the Slash and Burn and the Spin. We'll install the Charlotte, and we'll advance the Charlotte. We will move Isaac. Do you want to move Isaac? Nope. Isaac can stay. Let's make a 6 strength Whoredom. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And they have cards that they can feed to the Audrey, so it's not like we're totally locking them out, but we're just making them spend resources and commit a lot of resources to, again, worst case, we can just destroy the Charlotte at instant speed and get our credits back and not have a problem with it, because it's all tempo positive for us. The advancement token gained us a credit. Trashing Charlotte gets us 3 credits and doesn't take a click. So it's just using our tempo as much as we can to keep it rolling forward. Keep the snowball rolling down the hill, and eventually at the end it's going to get to be a really, really big snowball. And the fermenter is pretty good because it gives them an option. We can always consider using business as usual to get rid of the fermenter when they have money, or to keep them from getting money. Descent. More ice. More ice. We want to draw. None of these are the things that we want. Oh, we could have just done that on the Whoredom. Okay, well, that's fine. None of these are the things that we want. So we will advance our Charlotte for some money again, and let's just stick this over archives. And turn. We will keep 1 descent. We will get rid of this, and I don't think we need the second Isaac right now. I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. The Isaac we will not move. And this is just rough. This is really hard for our opponent because we don't have any weakness necessarily. The remote is just going to keep fueling us and give us infinite money to do whatever we want. We can install whatever ice we want, and we're in a lot stronger of a position tempo-wise. Like here, I don't think we're going to use the Charlotte to draw. I think we're just going to purge, because if they don't have anything here to threaten us, if they have nothing to get in, we'll purge, end our turn. It's like I I think the tree line could actually be valuable because we can just instant that Hoard'em over the limit. I don't think the infinite money is great right now. I mean, we already have enough money to do whatever we want, and we just ruined every opportunity or every chance that our opponent had to get out of this hole. Like, they can't spend a click. Yeah, so they're clicking for a credit. If I didn't purge, they could have discarded or trashed one of these fermenters for 8 credits. The difference between clicking for a credit and having to do that is huge. Yeah, they clicked for 3 credits this turn instead of trashing 1 fermenter for 8. Which is nuts. Okay, so we can just fast advance out the Atlas, but I think we want the token. I think we want to install the tree line over the Hoard'em. We will advance, install, advance. We don't need this money. So we'll just install the Atlas in server 3. Trash Charlotte and advance. Nope. Nope. And maybe they can threaten this? It's definitely not outside of the realm of possibility that they can threaten this. The Botulus they can get in. The tree line, they just need a way to break. So if they have another Audrey in their hand, they could pop a fermenter, play the Audrey to get 1 counter, and then run. Fermenter, Audrey, run, and get in and steal the Atlas. Which would be a bit inconvenient for us. Which might actually be what they end up doing here. Let's see if we call it. Maybe we should have reconsidered just hard installing the tree line and going. But that's okay. We could have just installed the Atlas too. I think maybe advancing the Atlas might have been the goof. Might have been another goof on our goof here. We have 3 seamless launches in our hand. We didn't need to put an advancement counter on here right now. That was kind of silly. Oh, okay. Do we res? I think we just res. Yeah, this is fine. They're not gonna make us not have enough money to res the tree line. There's no world where that happens. And they can't get into R&D, literally can't. Because of the Hoard'em, unless they play the Avocera Screw. And Archives doesn't get them anything. It's easy, well, they can't get into because of the Descent. I think here we're actually gonna let them in, but res the Tithe and force them to pay something. Oh, and this is gonna cost, oh no, it's not gonna cost them 1. And we'll res the Chrysium Grid after this, which is going to make it so they don't get the leech counter. We'll fire. Res the Chrysium Grid. No further actions. And if they want to spend 5 for this, that's a success too. Yep, cool. So we spent 3, cost them 5 when they don't really have money. Oh, it did trash. You know what? It got them the Audrey counter. I didn't consider that. It did get them the Audrey counter, so now they can get in the tree line. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We misplayed that. Right. Audrey gets a counter when you trash a card. And they had the money to trash. We just tried to... Oh, they didn't run. Okay. This is lucky for us. This is really, really fortunate for us, if I'm being honest. We are going to seamless launch the Atlas will advance. Will score. No worries. It's a thinker. Yeah, this is... I can only imagine from their side, too, because we have all the money in the world, and they haven't. So, from their perspective, like, we're just bullying them around. We're using our money pile to just push them around and get... and just do whatever we want. But it is problematic. I think we kind of fix our goof. Oh, one advancement on 2. Yeah, I think we fix our goof. Or do we just draw? No, we don't. We fix our goof. We'll place a counter on the Whoredom and the this tree line. We will remove all the counters on the Audrey, and we will continue. And we'll move the Isaac to R&D to get a tree line advancement. Just keep it churning. The Botulus isn't ideal, and Botulus does this thing where it breaks subroutines on ice, but it's not an AI, which sucks for me. It's pretty good for the runner, but when the Botulus is on Whoredom, it's problematic because it does break our ability to actually keep them out, even if we spend all our time advancing it. And if we get another piece of ice, I kind of think we're just going to overwrite the Whoredom. Because at this stage of the game, we just want to score. We just want to close it out. The Atlas counter can get us anything that we want. I mean, that could even get us our Basalt Spire. If we can get ice. I think if we get a piece of ice, literally anything that says end the run, I think we can win the game with the Atlas counter. Because any piece of ice that says end the run is going to be problematic because it means they need 2 answers. So, now they have the cookbook. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, they actually needed the cookbook in order to make that play. To make the play I'm thinking. We're going to make us eat our words, huh? We're going to make us eat our words? Yep, sure are. So, we're going to do it. We will use the Atlas to get a Salt Spire. We will install... we're going to get rid of the Whoredom and install this over server 3. We're going to install this in server 3. We don't need to advance it. So I think with our last click, we will just advance this and end turn, and we're going to move Isaac to server 3 to give our free advancement. Why didn't we advance this one? Because then Isaac doesn't do a thing. We want the free advancement counter. I guess it kind of comes out a bit net negative for us on the credit side, but at this point of the game, we have the credits. We only need 2 credits to score the Basalt Spire, so it's, the 1 extra credit I don't think is gonna break us. So we're gonna res this Descent. Yeah, trying to privileged access. See, this is what we were afraid of. We thought that they were gonna play this to get a crew back earlier in the game. And it's why we put the Descent over Archives in addition to the Tithe. Because this is just a cheeky, cute little end the run that's just going to keep them out. This is a good example of a gear check. It's just making them check to find a way to break a code gate. And if they don't have a way to break a code gate, this does nothing. But that's all we're stopping here. It's just a piece of code gate ice that's just popping up and getting in their face. And yeah, I think they've realized that they can't get in. We'll not add descent. We will advance and seamless, score. All right. Oh, they left. Okay, so none of that. That's all fine. So this was really, really good. I think both of these outings were really kind of showing. I think Weyland is pretty dominant in startup. It did really, really well in the World Championship as well. So right now, I think this is strong in the meta, this ID in particular. I do want to try some more stuff, other decks that I haven't built. I think that's probably what we're going to focus on next week quite a bit. I started off playing these decks that I've been tinkering with and the decks that I've been building, but I want to go and get some decks that some other deck makers have made that are doing well, and see if we can find some decks that have won startup events and see what they are doing as well. And maybe we can use that to help identify the thing that we need to do with our decks. I mean, at least this Corp deck seems to be running pretty well. I don't have any major complaints. Again, we scored a bunch of points before our opponent did in this game, but I think the runner side especially, we can do some work and get that figured out. I think we're going to head out today. I know it's a short one. Just the way things worked, this is going to have to be a bit of a shorter stream today. So I appreciate you joining me for this journey. I know I just jumped right into it, just like a roller coaster from the get-go. So I appreciate you going with me on the ride. And we will stream next Monday as well. We're busy for the rest of the week, but Monday at 2 p.m. same time, and that will be should be a full 2-hour stream. So we'll be able to give you everything then. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you got some good insight on some startup corps, and we'll catch you next time.